Okay, everybody, just got this, brought it home. This Yuneec. Actually, that's how it's um, pronounced. Unique. Uh, Yuneec. Typhoon 4K. Um, my first drone. So let's open her up. I've already seen this thing, but this is absolutely pretty cool. Picked this up off of a Facebook Marketplace. And I'm gonna have me some fun with this guy. It's got a real nice padding there. But these are the propellers and all the connections with the charging and some other stuff, which he was explaining it to me. But man, I tell you, it was a lot to take in. I know he was saying this is how to update it whenever there's updates and all that stuff, but he had already updated it, and of course plugs and stuff like that. And then this is the actual bird, and these are the pretty good sized motors, and these propellers are 13 inches across, so this thing is pretty big once it gets put together. And this is the 4K camera right here. It's got a nice gimbal on it, and I'm gonna take this off and kind of take this off before flight, but that's the actual cover to hold it in place when when you're transporting it. And when you put the blades on, I'm not gonna put it on, but you get 4 of them on there, so you can kind of see this thing is pretty big. And speaking of big, this remote, man, look at that. So give you a sense of scale. That's my hand, and so I think it's like a 5.5-inch touchscreen. It's pretty bright. All these buttons and all this stuff, man. He was telling me about, and I know I have to turn this on first before I fire this guy up, and then at the end of my flight I have to turn him off and then turn this off. It's got to be just in that order. And this has got the return to home feature, the follow me feature, the smart flight, everything, man. This is a bad boy. This is the real deal. These are charging. Well, that's an extra battery. It's got one already in it. The power brick. I forgot what that is. I think that's, don't know. This right here is the, you can actually take the camera off of there, and you put it on here, and then you turn the power on right here, and you can basically just kind of, you can shoot this video with just the gun, like, thing, whatever, it's pretty cool. So I'm gonna get into all this stuff Sunday. And the carrying case, man, it's pretty slick, but I'm pretty excited. But that is the Yuneec, and that's the name of it, Yuneec. The Q500 Typhoon. This is one of the biggest ones, if not probably the biggest. It's bigger than the DJI. I was looking at DJIs. Those are the actually more popular ones, but I got this one pretty much for a steal, and it's because of there is a if you can see, yep, right there, there's a crack right there in the camera. This is a 4K camera. Actually, I don't have to shoot in 4K if I want to. If I don't want to, I can shoot at 4K at 30 frames per second. That's all I can do. Now I can go down to like a 1080 and do 1080 at 60 frames per second, or I think this actually does 720 at maybe 120 frames per second in slow motion or so if I wanted to do that. But this is the reason why he said he sold it so so cheap, because of this right here, because this camera is pretty expensive, but he said it works just fine. I mean, it does. I mean, I was with him, and the image is pretty cool, man. He took this thing up about 800 feet straight up in the air, and this thing is just as nimble and steady as ever. This is pretty cool though. I really plan on actually really getting into flying these things, and just something I like to try, things that's new. So that looks pretty cool. I gotta put all this stuff back in and learn how to put these things on. I don't know why my phone is flickering like it's doing. I don't know if you guys can see that in the video, but anyway, that is my that's my very first drone. I gotta find a name for him. That's it.